You're on.
Okay, welcome to THNK Module 1 Roundup. We began with a brief that stated how might we reduce greenhouse gas emission on a large scale by redesigning and accelerating a selected set of existing high-potential M2M technical applications for maximum customer adoption. Do you know what that means? Because we sure as hell don't. So, we started off as Team F2K, Felix, Francisco, and Kaz on our journey. Woohoo! Yay! And we decided to dig into this and do some sensing. So we started by looking at force fields of how the various system factors interact. Regulation, energy, consumer goods, industry, product. And we looked at how those forces might be places to investigate the idea about this further. As we went, we initially thought that the three of us, Team F2K, were not too interested in maximum adoption, but we needed to look more closely. So off we went on a wild safari, observing both the airport and transportation systems in Amsterdam, as well as some of the local office and home buildings that might have green potential. From that, we determined needs that human beings might have and insights where carbon reduction could perhaps come into play. And we took those things to interrogate against piles and piles of data. In truth, we had no time to do that. So we just know there's lots of data to go through. We were looking for rats. We were looking for outliers. We were looking for patterns we might not have seen. And indeed, after we looked at all of that, we said, let's go talk to the experts because they should know what's going on. In fact, they have no idea either. Blah, 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 blah. We tried to ask powerful questions, and actually, when you listen between the words, some great insights did emerge from the most unlikely sources. So it became apparent that we need to pay attention to people's vested interests and what their corporate pressures are and what they actually care about. What is their passion and purpose and ours? So from the experts, we then came down and looked at some of the key assumptions that we could potentially reframe. What are our core beliefs? Fossil fuels are good for the economy, and we turned them on their head. Or maybe they turned us on our heads. Either way, we got through it, and we looked at how important it is to reframe each assumption and statement. From there, we came up with a set of hypotheses, and with our very unscientific scientific think process, in creative leadership techniques and tools, we are going to test those processes with KPMG. So from there we've come out and we've realized that some of our themes, insights, whatever you want to call them, happen to do with adoption, which keeps cropping up. As much as we try to put it aside, technology adoption is bothering us. The geography could matter. Developing world, which seems like the obvious choice, may not be. Investment is definitely an ingredient and could be the tipping point, so maybe it's not about the M2M technology itself. Regulation and standards, is that a red herring? We don't know. And then lastly, maybe we don't need centralized processing for M2M and instead could look at peer-to-peer models that pave the way. So as we wrap up Module 1, we find ourselves off on our journey to do more sensing and come all the way back around until Team F2K can figure out what to do. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you next time.